Hi, Jen Gilchrist here, your Soul Alignment and Success Mentor, and I'm super excited to be back here with episode 2 of my new weekly Facebook Live series called Soulful Snippets. And this idea came to me, it's just really where I'm channeling a message. I tune in right before we go live and I come through with what message does my soul want to share? What message needs to be heard today? And then I share it. And it's always going to be something that's going to be inspirational, of value. It could be tools. And this week's topic came up on the heels of the full moon that was yesterday. And it's all about, I came up with 11 easy ways to help move and release stagnant energy and emotions so that you can really let go and create space for more creativity, more alignment, more flow, and new things to come into your life. So for those of you that are new to me, thanks so much for jumping on here. Say hello as you're hopping on. I work with spiritual heart-centered entrepreneurs, women who are really awakening to their true desires, to their purpose, and help them get out of their own way by releasing the blocks and things that are holding them back so that they can really step into that next level of success and leadership in their life and business. And so if you are hopping on, I would love it if you share this video out as well. Share this with your friends if you feel like this would be supportive to your community. Thanks for the likes, guys. So let's just go ahead and dive right into the 11 easy ways to release stagnant energy and emotions. So the first way is by physically decluttering. One of the easiest ways to just really, if you can't think, even if it's like you're stuck in your business, you're having a hard time getting motivated or thinking of a topic to write a blog about or whatever it is, anytime you're feeling stuck, oftentimes just picking clearing out your email, cleaning out your sock drawer, cleaning up your office, just some way of like picking a drawer of clearing out the old will actually physically start to get the energy moving. So that's a really easy way to clear some of the stuckness and the stagnance that might be going on around you. Some of these are going to be really simple tips that you have actually probably already heard and been doing. Maybe you'll learn some new ones, or maybe this is just your nudge that you know about these things, but you just haven't done it. So that's the first one, is physically declutter. I also really like this book called, I can't remember the exact name, but it's like The Magic of Tidying. I believe it's like by Marie Kondo. And it's really about, she has this extensive way of really decluttering all areas of your home. And I did this once and it was, wow, everything just felt like my closet felt happy. Everything just felt very light and alive. And so I would recommend checking that out. The second way is through meditation, right? When you, one of the very easy ritual that you can do in meditation is connecting with your breath, closing your eyes, really getting going inward, and then choosing, which emotion, if there's a person, maybe a relationship, a limiting belief, or a fear, whatever it is that you're wanting to actually go away, just being present with it for the moment, and then just visualizing it literally floating off like a balloon, right? Just allowing yourself to just make that conscious decision to let it go. Right, to hand it over, to surrender it, however you want to look at that. But I like to imagine just kind of floating off and away and just taking the time to be present with whatever it is that's on your mind and choosing to release it. That in and of itself can be super powerful. So there's many ways you can use your meditation and visualization space, but that's the one tip I'm going to give you today. Number 3 is kind of along with meditation in a sense, and it's about really feeling your feelings, right? Really talking to your body. I have a meditation called the TLC, Talk, Listen, and Commit to Your Body's Needs meditation that helps you, feel where tension is, where emotions are. Really just being with the energy of the sadness or of the overwhelm. Right? It's really when we're repressing or fighting against wanting to acknowledge the feeling that we're feeling that causes the pain, right? If we can actually just be present with it, it will move through very quickly. And oftentimes emotion and stuck energy will start to become physical pain in the body. So when you quiet down and you just start to focus on your breath and be present with that, with your emotions, you'll start to feel, where the tension is in your body. You can place your hand there, breathe awareness to that space, and just kind of start to ask, have that dialogue with, what are you trying to share with me, right? What is it that you need to feel better now? And really start that dialogue, because that will help to get energy moving too. All of these things can really help within like 5 minutes time. right? You don't have to do all of them, but these are just ideas that you can use anytime, but especially around the full moon, like we had yesterday on both sides of the full moon. It's really your body and your energy and your spirit is just wanting to shed, right? So hopefully these will be supportive. And I'd love to hear, if you guys have tips that you want to share in the comments below, definitely let me know what those are too. These are just the 11 that came to me today. The next one is tip number 4, right? The next easy way is Archangel Michael. And really working with the angels, any of your spiritual support team, your higher self, God directly, however you look at using your spiritual support team. But I love working especially with Archangel Michael, of letting go of fear, letting go of cords, letting go of attachment to things, really just asking him simply by setting the intention and asking him to be with you and support you and letting go of whatever's not serving you, and energetically release that attachment all the way at its root, right? Helping you really heal deeply as to why you're even, having that situation stuck there in the first place. I did a whole, in the Soul Inspired Leaders Collective, my Facebook group. You're welcome to join that if you'd like. I did a meditation yesterday for the full moon around this topic where we walked through a cord cutting, and I went more in depth into that topic. But that's a really powerful way, and you'll really notice that if you're having trouble letting go of something, sometimes I'll combine these things. Like I might start with calling in upon my angels, asking for some spiritual support, doing some energy work, and then going and doing a cleaning project right in my garage or in my closet. You'll notice that you'll be able to let go of things easier when you start out with releasing that energetic attachment first, and then sometimes it becomes easier to take the next step and physically declutter, for instance, right? So these can all work really beautifully together. The next one is journaling, right? So journaling, whether you're just like free flow conscious journaling, 5 minutes of just like allowing yourself to spit out everything that's like bottled up, any of the, especially if you have monkey mind or worries or thoughts or fears or frustrations, just verbalizing it and just getting it out on paper, that in and of itself will really begin to move the energy, right? It gives it somewhere to go. It gives it a channel to go. And from that space, you can also put it, can burn it, right? From that, I did that the other day. I journal and meditate really regularly, but yesterday on the full moon, and this is kind of what prompted this as well, I think, this Facebook Live, is I combined a lot of things. I brought in crystals, I brought in the meditation piece, I journaled out everything I was wanting to let go of, and then I burned it. I hadn't burned anything in a long time, and it was an interesting, immediate lightness in my body to actually physically burn the paper that I wrote it on. So that is another way that you can kind of intensify this, is by burning it, or putting it into a God box. Some people like the idea of, again, if you have something that you're having a hard time letting go of, maybe for the whole week straight, you can write it on a piece of paper, fold it up, and then put it into the God box. And that's just, again, another way of like kind of adding in more of your senses and creating a conscious decision to surrender, to let it go, to hand it over, to let go, to have faith, to trust that it's all being taken care of. And so those are different ways that you can incorporate the journaling and letting go. Hey, Mylan, thanks for joining. I'm so glad you're enjoying this topic. In fact, yeah, I think that you kind of sparked this idea in the group with a question recently as well. So I'm glad that this is helpful. So number 6, the easy way is to use crystals. I've been feeling, I've always had crystals around my house. I have them around. I don't always meditate with them, but in the last few months specifically, I've been really drawn to working even more fully with my crystals. And so 2 crystals, hey Norma Jean, good to see you here, that I wanted to talk with is the smoky quartz. I don't play with this one too much, but it's a little bit denser energy, right? But it's really good about letting go. And so when I was journaling, I set this smoky quartz onto my journal. I just kind of almost like intended, or you can hold it in your hand and just like move the energy, allow it to actually pull out the energy of, the thoughts, the fears, the emotions, the people, the situations that you're wanting to release, right? Or you can even set it on your journal pad and just kind of know that it's helping to help you, support you energetically to release even more deeply. And one of my favorite crystals that I have all over my house is selenite, which feels much more lighter. It's still very cleansing and clearing to the aura, but it's like super high vibrational. So it really connects me with my intuitive insights, my higher self, like to a higher perspective in a sense. And it's very clearing, but it feels very elevating at the same time. And so here's a slab of it. They also come a lot like in candle holders. Probably showed you this before, but this is a big one. You can even, because it's self-cleansing, so you can clear your other crystals and stuff on here, but I like to just put it down here and put my feet on it when I meditate, and it's just like, oh, it just grounds me into my body, but also holding that space for that higher perspective. So there's a couple of crystals, but just using, it's really about just helping you hold space and raise your vibration. So it's just an energetic support for you, for those of you who are highly sensitive and empathic, like I know the people are that tend to be drawn to me, right? I am too. And so these are just great tools that you can use to support you. Number 7, the 7th easy way, is essential oils. I love Young Living. doTERRA is a great brand. There's lots of wonderful essential oils out there, and they all do different things. So you can always Google, like if you have an emotional thing you want to release, or raise to the vibration of joy because you're feeling sad. Joy is one of my favorite from Young Living. There is an actual oil called Release, but typically until you get to, if you haven't used essential oils, use your intuition to guide you. You can also Google it, what you're working with, and it will give you some suggestions of oils that would be supportive for you, but they really work fast. I mean, just rubbing it in your hands and smelling them, putting them on your body, feel amazing. If you have, I like to have put some coconut oil and put the drops on and then just kind of rub my feet. That just feels like it just feels so good. Immediately you feel tension release, you feel stimulated, you'll feel more energized. I mean, it's just amazing how quickly the oils will work. You can also exchange massages on the feet or the hands or however your back with your partner if you have a partner. That's also really wonderful, but it's just kind of like a little pampering space for yourself to just spend a few minutes of like self-love and self-care, to choose 5 minutes to really give to yourself in that way, into your body. If you like essential oils, you may have heard of, Young Living calls it the raindrop therapy. That's amazing for releasing, especially like releasing a lot of emotions and things like that. It's really something where you go to a practitioner, and I know doTERRA has their version of it as well, but it's essentially using essential oils along your spine and on different pressure points on your feet and on your body, and it's a series of oils, and it's amazing how much you will definitely release energy there. So lots of ways to use those essential oils. The next way is number 8, and that is physical exercise. So getting into your body, right? Really physical exercise. And it's going to be different for everyone. I like it, I like sweating, I like cardio. I like it all really. I do Zumba, dancing, weights, a lot of people love yoga, anything that's really getting you in your body, because it's forcing you to be present with what's going on. Right? Sometimes we don't realize that we're so busy throughout the day, or especially if we're numbing with food or alcohol or just busying ourselves so much, we don't even realize where we're stiff or achy or anything, right? We're kind of out of our body, just kind of doing out into the future a little bit. And so when you're doing physical activity, your body's always in the present moment. And so the more that you can connect with your body, it helps you embody your energy on a deeper level. And when you do that, it moves out other things. So I notice when I go through times where I'm stagnant with my exercise, it just starts to build up and I start to feel really heavy. And one of the benefits, besides all of the amazing benefits of exercise, but energetically, it helps to move energy as well, help you release, for sure. Let's see, the next one, number 9, is a detox, right? So detoxing has been coming up a lot in the weekly readings on different levels. Many different ways you can do this. So tune in to yourself and your body with this, but it could be detoxing. It could just even be meaning drink a lot more water. That comes up a lot. Detoxing off of sugar or caffeine or alcohol or processed foods, perhaps. Or you could do full on fasting, like water fasting, or juice fasting or whatever it is. So really just connecting with your body, like getting out of your mind, but then tuning in with your body and, asking, what does it need? What would help it raise its vibrational frequency and really let go of some of the heavier, stuck, stagnant energy or emotions that are there, right? And it will really raise your vibration. You'll feel alive and magnetic. It helps be attractive with manifesting and all kinds of things. So really just tuning into what is your body asking you? Is there something that you're feeding it or fueling it with that's not nourishing it at this time? And what can you do instead? That's a really powerful way to start to kick out the stagnance as well. Number 10, we're almost there, guys, is any kind of artwork or painting. That's really powerful when you can, again, you're being very present, you're using different senses, you're just allowing yourself to get out of your mind and kind of into that creative side of your brain. And it really helps to spark creativity for sure. Like when you really, like whenever I do painting or even coloring or doodling, clay, anything where you're kind of using your hands and creating something, that gets the energy moving too. Our creative channels come off down through our hands, and when we can get that energy moving, suddenly you'll have divine downloads and amazing business ideas, and all of a sudden that stuckness will begin to release as well. A lot of people teach intuitive art where you actually, have an intention about what you're releasing when you go into the painting or the drawing as well. So there's no right or wrong. There's many ways to do it, but I find even just simply being present with doing a creative project, and I like to watch the YouTube videos with the painting tutorials. My daughter and I do this a lot, and then the painting really just starts to shift and bring this spark of creativity in the form of ideas and energy and joy and all that goodness. And the last one, number 11, again, it's been coming up. I go in stages of using this a lot or not, but good old sage. That's a quick way. If you're really feeling like you can't get that motivation to meditate or journal or any of it, just sometimes I'll spark the sage or the Palo Santo and just whisk it around your body, around your house. And again, that will start to lighten the energy and make any of your other projects easier in an instant. It just really is amazing how it starts to lift that heaviness that sometimes can keep you almost like in this mild feeling of depression or just, I don't want to do it, like this lack of motivation that can sometimes happen. So those are my 11 easy ways that I came up with that felt like that might be supportive. Let me know, what was your favorite one? Are these things you've heard of before? Is there new ones that you're excited to try, or maybe just a reminder of something that you know about but you haven't done? I would love to hear. And if you have any other ways you want to share, this is a great place to just share and exchange information to support each other, because let's face it, sometimes life has its ups and its downs, and it's easy to get isolated and more kind of stuck into that heavier, stuck kind of place. And so hopefully this will just help you have some quick ideas and resources that you can use to easily shift the energy and begin feeling more aligned and abundant and joyful again. So let me know how this supported you. And for those of you, I forgot to mention this in the beginning, but I do have, if you haven't heard, I have a special going right now through the 4th of July, which I don't usually do, but I'm offering 30-minute aura readings as well. And that is another way, very fast way. Aura, like I do a clairvoyant aura reading and clearing, where I look at each layer and read the energy of like what it is that you're ready to let go of, that you're kind of not fully letting go of, and what it is you're creating instead. And we do some clearing work along the way, and it's super insightful, very validating, and you will have a shift of energy for sure as well. So I'm offering those as individual 30-minute readings, which is something that I don't normally do too often, at 33% off. And so if this is something you're interested in, I also have a couple spots for the 6-week mentoring Awake and Elevate, which is a one-on-one, a little bit more intensive reading and energy work and coaching as well. So those are some options if you're feeling like you are in a big shift and you need some deeper support. I would love to hear from you. So reach out and we can see if it's a good fit via messenger or comment below. So I hope those were helpful. One last thing I'm thinking of that would be beneficial that I forgot to mention is forgiveness. And that was kind of something I wanted to talk about in the journaling section of this. And the forgiveness, sometimes we're always got something to forgive, right? Forgive ourselves, forgive parents, ex-relationships, somebody that's triggering you. doing any level of the deeper forgiveness work is always going to help you release as well. And I do have a free gift that's Bless, Release, Receive. It's a 4-step process and guided healing meditation for forgiveness ritual, and that will immediately shift your ability to receive. You'll feel lighter. And so if that's something that you feel that would support you, then there's also the that's just a free download that you can type forgiveness below, and I'd be happy to share with you to support you even further. So I hope this is useful. Share it out with your friends if you think this would be valuable, and I look forward to seeing you next week. This is going to be a weekly Facebook Live series. I plan them to be maybe 15-20 minutes, and hopefully they will be fun and enjoyable. I'm excited. They're lighting me up, so that's why I'm doing it, because I wanted to bring more joy into my business as well. So this is just kind of a fun way for me to express my soul as well to you. So have a wonderful day, and I look forward to talking with you soon. Bye-bye.